Hello, I'd like to introduce you to UXDuty. It's a new digital tool that I've been working on, which helps firms within financial services provide evidence and to help them comply with the FCA's consumer duty regulation. I'm just going to show a quick demo of the app prototype as it is today. It's going to log in. So once you're logged in, you have a projects page, and you can create a new project. The project could represent one of the key journeys that you might be looking at reviewing to make sure it complies with consumer duty. So that could be prospective customers looking at the services that you provide before they decide to use you. Onboarding those people, then when they're using your services, perhaps to manage their perhaps to manage things like their bank accounts, for example, or products that they've purchased from you, and everything right through to account closure to make sure that you're aligned with consumer duty. You're considering vulnerable customers and perhaps customers with access needs or poor connectivity, for example, alongside just providing fair and transparent communication to all of your customers. Once you've set up a project, you can create tests, and this is based around a testing. The concept is that you would test with your end users each task, each kind of step of those user journeys, and see perhaps where users are hesitating or where they don't understand something, and you might be falling short of the consumer duty regulation. So, for example, you could set up a test to see how a user engages with online banking support chat. There's a test here that's already been created. Creating a test is actually quite simple. You go through this 4-step process where you can define the test, you can define which have journey. So I mentioned those 4. You can define the consumer duty pillar, which will help with your reporting, so you can categorize in line with that. You go through this process, and then you can invite people to test via email. Once that test's complete, you'll get a risk assessment, which is done using AI. And you can set a baseline test to begin with that look at an average sentiment score based on participant feedback. And if a participant abandons a task, then that shows that you're at risk, and that would be factored in. You can then look at those users which have really struggled and are potentially at risk via the playback screen. AI will provide some automated insights, and to help with providing evidence and having that human validation, you can then approve, eject, or reject those AI insights, or even add your own if you notice something that needs to be added in. If that test shows that there is a risk, then you can then set up another test, a validation test, to see if you can improve the success rate, see if you can improve the sentiment, and use that as an example that you've made changes in line with the consumer duty regulation as evidence that that things have improved, that your communication's improved, that your customer sentiment has improved. And that's essentially it. The app is quite advanced in the way that you can invite external viewers. You can invite team to approve insights, to own projects, and there's various settings as well. It also has the ability to adjust those thresholds to perhaps depending on how you want these to be set, and how many risks that you'd like to be found, and you can set notifications as well to receive those via email, depending on your role. That's essentially the concept and the key features. If you'd like to have a live demo and ask me any questions, then please reach out and get in touch. I'd be happy to do that. Thank you.